Jai Hind cadets, welcome to the today's session. In today's session, we will discuss about the other chapter of NDA chemistry, that is chapter number 3, laws of chemical combination. Third chapter, laws of chemical combination. Laws of chemical combination. So cadets, all of you know that in chemical reactions, various chemical combination takes place. Chemical reaction is nothing but it is a combination of one substance with another substance, or one element combined with another element to form a compound. For the formation of compounds, these chemical combinations are takes place, or we can say that these chemical reactions are the chemical combinations. So in this session, we have to discuss about the different laws of chemical combinations. So there are 5 basic laws of chemical combination. Law number 1, law of conservation of mass. Conservation of mass. Number 2, law of definite proportion. Number 3, law of multiple proportion. Multiple proportion. Number 4, law of reciprocal proportion. And number 5, Gay-Lussac law. Gay-Lussac law of equal volume of gases. So these are the 5 basic laws, and with the help of these 5 basic laws, we have to study the laws of chemical combination, or how these chemical combinations are takes place. So first, we discuss about the law of conservation of mass one by one. Then we discuss about the law of definite proportion, then law of multiple proportion, law of reciprocal proportion, and Gay-Lussac law of reciprocal equal volume of gases. So let us start the discussion about the law of conservation of mass. Cadets, this law of conservation of mass is also known as, or it is also known as law of conservation of matter. It is also called law of conservation of matter. This law explains the relationship between the mass of reactant and the product. Law explains the relationship between the mass of reactants and the products. In the year of 1750, Sir Antony Lavoisier, proposed this law. Sir Anthony Lavoisier, in the year of 1750, proposed this law. Then what is the law? The law states that in any physical or chemical changes, in any physical or chemical changes, the mass of substance neither created nor destroyed, or the mass of reactant is equal to the mass of product, or matter, another statement, or matter is neither created nor destroyed. The total mass of reactant is equal to the total mass of product. This statement was proposed by the scientist Antoine Lavoisier in the year of 1750. Let us see the examples of this law. First example, when carbon reacts with oxygen. During this reaction, there is formation of carbon dioxide takes place. Example, when carbon reacts with oxygen, formation of carbon dioxide takes place. Carbon and oxygen, these are the two reactants. When they combine with each other, formation of single product takes place, that is carbon dioxide. Here, the mass of carbon atom is 12, oxygen atom is 32. One oxygen, the atomic mass of one oxygen is 16 multiplied by 2. Here, the 2 multiplied by 16 is equal to 32. The total mass of carbon and oxygen is equal to 44. So here, the mass of reactant is equal to 44, whereas the total mass of carbon dioxide is calculated here. Carbon 12 plus oxygen 2 into 16, that is equal to 44. Here 2 into 16, 32 plus 12, that is equal to 44. The total mass of reactant, that is carbon dioxide, and the total mass of product is equal to 44. Means mass is neither created or nor destroyed. The total mass of reactant and product is equal. This is proved from this example. One more example is here. When sodium chloride reacts with water, sodium chloride, NaCl plus H2O. In this reaction, formation of sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH plus HCl takes place. Only exchange of ion. Here Na plus ion and H plus ion from H2O are exchanged with each other, and formation of NaOH plus HCl takes place. This reaction also prove that the total mass of reactant, that is NaCl and H2O, is equal to the total mass of NaOH and HCl. Let us consider another example with the help of one experiment. The name of that experiment is Landlot's experiment. Landlot's experiment. The question is that what is Landlot's experiment? So Landlot experiment. H. Landlot. H. Landlot was the scientist and who proved with the help of this experiment the total mass of reactor is equal to the total mass of product. For this experiment, Landlot used H-shaped tube, and he filled that H-shaped tube, one end of H-shaped tube with silver nitrate solution and another end of silver H-shaped tube with the help of HCl solution. One end with silver nitrate, that's AgNO3, and another end with HCl. And after this, he sealed the both end of tubes and intermix the both solutions, AgNO3 and HCl. After the intermixing, he observed that there is formation of silver nitrate precipitate and nitric acid in the reaction. So same reaction takes place here. Exchange of both ions takes place in that reaction, and such type of reactions are called double displacement reaction. So this reaction also proved that the total mass of reactant is equal to the total mass of product. Let us see here with the help of diagram. This is H-shaped tube. In H-shaped tube, one end of tube is filled with silver nitrate, that is AgNO3, and another end is with HCl. These two ends are sealed, then intermixing of solution, intermixing of solution. After intermixing, AgNO3 plus HCl, formation of AgCl plus HNO3 precipitate, AgCl precipitate and HNO3 solution. So this is the reaction, and this reaction takes place here. And this reaction proved that here only exchange of Ag plus and hydrogen plus, H plus, both ions are exchanged. Formation of silver nitrate, conversion of silver nitrate into silver chloride precipitate takes place, whereas H plus exchange Ag, formation of HNO3 takes place. Nitric acid formation takes place here. So this experiment also proved that the total mass of reactant is equal to the total mass of product. So this is all about the law of conservation of mass, or it is also called law of conservation of matter. One more point is here, cadets. The balancing of chemical equation is takes place on the law of conservation of mass. For example, all of you know that there are two types of chemical equations. One is the balanced chemical equation and another one is unbalanced chemical equation. For example, when carbon reacts with oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide. Second example, same reaction is there. When carbon reacts with oxygen, it gives carbon monoxide. In both reactions, carbon and oxygen both are reactants, carbon and oxygen, but products are different. Here is formation of CO2 takes place, and here is formation of carbon monoxide takes place. Then what is the difference in both reactions? Difference is that example number 1, this example is 1 and this one is 2. This example number 1 is the balanced equation. This equation is called balanced equation. Here left hand side is equal to right hand side, or we can say that the total mass of these two reactants is equal to the mass of product. But in this equation, total mass of reactant is not equal to the total mass of product. or left hand side is not equal to the right hand side. Why? Because this equation is unbalanced chemical equation. The point is that the balancing of chemical equation is depends upon the law of conservation of mass. Our question is that why it is necessary to balance the chemical equations. To verify the law of conservation of mass, or to prove the law of conservation of mass, it is necessary to balance the chemical equations. Here, carbon with atomic mass 12, oxygen again here 2 into 16, that is the 12 plus 32 is equal to 44 is here. The total mass of carbon plus oxygen is equal to again 44. Here carbon with atomic mass 12 plus oxygen with atomic mass is equal to 16. Then the total mass is equal to 2 plus 6, 8 and 2, that is 28. The total mass of reactor is equal to 44 and total mass of product is equal to 28. Left hand side is not equal to right hand side, or the total mass of reactant is not equal to the total mass of product. So here, law of conservation of mass is not verified. To verify this law, we have to balance the chemical equation. That is here, after balancing, what happened? Here, 2 is here and 2 is here. So this equation is the balanced equation. Or you can say that left hand side is equal to right hand side in this equation. Then again calculate the mass. Then carbon, 2 carbon is here, then 2 into 12, and oxygen 2 into 16 is here. Then total mass of carbon is equal to 24 plus oxygen is equal to 32. The total mass of carbon and oxygen is equal to 56 is here. 5 plus 4 plus 2, 6, 3 plus 2, 5, 56 is here. Then again from product side 2 into 12, carbon 2 is here, then 12 plus oxygen 2 into 16, the 2 that is 24 plus 32 that is equal to 56. So after the balancing of chemical equation, it is observed that the total mass of reactant is equal to the total mass of product. So this reaction indicates that the balancing of chemical equation is based on law of conservation of mass. Yes.